for zoning board of adjustments. We're gonna start on vacation. Kyle, please.
Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to gather this morning. We thank you for the recent rains that we've had. We ask for your guidance over this board to provide us the wisdom needed to make the decisions as we're about to hear these cases. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. As we stand for the pledge. Do we have?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right, we're gonna go with the consent items. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes for June 18th?
I'll make a motion.
There's a motion on the table. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
There's a second. In discussion? In discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Same sign. Motion carries. All right, we're gonna go with our first public hearing, case file number 2025-13-V, opening a public hearing to consider the approval of the request of Alfonso Herrera, owner of variance from section 14-7-9-4 of the City of Odessa zoning ordinance to allow construction of a structure to be built 6 feet rear yard setback instead of the required 10 feet setback in special dwelling district, zoning district lot 10, block 21, Ratliff Ridge, H filing 9003 Spirit Avenue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Board. The property involved in this request is located at 9003 Spirit Avenue. The site is currently zoned SPD Special Dwelling District and is occupied by single-family residents. The property is surrounded by single-family residential development on all sides. The applicant is Alfonso Herrera, owner, and the purpose of the request is for a variance to allow an attached structure, a porch, to be located on the property within 6 feet rear yard setback instead of the 10-foot rear yard setback. The applicant is requesting a variance from section 14-7-9 subsection 4 of the City of Odessa zoning ordinance. Staff recommends a denial of this request for not satisfying the variance criteria outlined in the zoning ordinance. However, should the board choose to approve this request, the planning staff would recommend adoption with the conditions shown. And with that, I'm here if you have any questions.
Sorry, I can't read.
Would you like me to read them for you real quick?
Please, just because my screen has a lot of little lines, it's making my.
Oh, yeah.
It works, but it has just.
Not a problem. So, first condition, no other structures or additions may be placed within the 10-foot rear yard setback. Second, that the water runoff from the roof shall be directed away from adjacent neighboring property. Third, that the accessory building shall not be used to conduct business or be used as permanent living quarters. And then finally, no additional structures, additions, or modifications may be made to the structure or property without first contacting the building inspections department, obtaining a building permit, and or scheduling the required inspections.
Do we have any questions for staff? We have no questions for staff. Thank you. At this moment, I'll open this part of the hearing to the public. If anybody wants to speak for or against, please step forward. Good morning. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes or less.
My name is Alfonso Herrera. I'm the owner of the property. I'm asking for this variance for a couple of reasons that I believe are real good reasons. Before starting the project, I did make a phone call to the building inspections department and asked, what are my restrictions, what are my setbacks, and so forth. I was told, concrete-wise, there's no restrictions. Setbacks, you have to be 5 feet away from your fence line. I said, great. So I started, poured my slab. I set my anchors, support anchors for my porch. Actually, I gave it 6 feet opposed to the 5 that I was told. I set those in, and I put in for the permit. 2 weeks went by. I called zoning and planning. That's when I met Mr. Reyes, and he told me what the issue was. And I was like, but I called, and this is what I was told. And he said, well, sometimes the girls downstairs don't know. And I was like, that's not my fault. You know, I was proactive. I made the call. I wanted to know the rules. If I would have been told it was 10 feet, I would have done it 10 feet back. I invested money in the slab. I invested money on the builder, and I invested for material for the porch. That's the reason I'm asking for the variance. And I'm actually fighting for 3 feet 9 inches. So that's the reason for this variance this morning. That's all I got.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
If there's anybody else that wants to,
Sure. May I ask you a question?
Mr.
Sorry.
Herrera?
So this is a covered patio or a lattice patio or what
It's
kind?
just a patio.
Covered
Yeah,
shingles?
just
or
shade, for shade, you know.
Shingles?
Tin,
Tin?
sheet metal, huh?
Sheet metal,
It'll
okay.
be sheet metal, yes, sir. It'll be sheet metal. So, and I understand the rule now, and can I do it 10 feet back? Yes, but I already set my anchors on my concrete, so they're nice and flush. Well, your 4x4 structure, you know. Now, if I scoot back, I'm gonna have to drill into the concrete, you know, it's fine, but I did invest some money into it already, and nothing's cheap these days. So, thank you. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
No?
All right,
No.
thank you.
Thank you.
If there's anybody else that wants to speak for or against the variance, please step forward. No one else. We're gonna close this part of the hearing from the public. Commissioners?
One more question for staff. Did y'all do a mail out in that area?
Are there any objections, any returns, any approvals?
No,
We didn't get any.
And then
No.
came back?
no.
Okay.
Issues.
Okay.
Okay. Commissioners?
Is the side yard correct? Is there a side yard issue or is it just the back?
Daniel?
Apologies. Yes, the side yard is within ordinance, so it's
Can we
just.
put
rear.
the map, where the closer map to where we're seeing it? Does he have, is the backyard, is there an alley or is there the next?
There's no alley.
There's
yeah.
no alley. Commissioners? Y'all are quiet this morning?
We have a lot from this area, this Ratliff Ridge area.
So we're just looking at the back. I mean, the back is 6 feet instead of the 10 feet. So, I mean, we're discussing like homeowners at 3 feet 9 inches. Is that correct? I think so. I think that's what he said was correct. What do y'all think?
You know, if the neighbors behind them had a real issue with it, I would have felt like they would have responded. So, you know, I don't see, you know, it's 6 foot, it's 3 foot, you know, into.
neighbor actually
We can- Yeah, hold on just one second. Hold on just one second.
And he had no problem with
Okay, hold on just one second, sir. All right.
You know, I was just referring back to the mail-ins, you know, the response, you know, if that was, you know, if I just feel like if it was a real issue for them in the back, you know, they would have responded back.
My question's where's the water runoff gonna go?
And then we could open back to the public and we could ask the homeowner. You
Yes,
don't
sir.
want to do that? Okay,
Yep.
we're gonna open this meeting back up to the public. Mr. Herrera, please state your name.
Alfonso Herrera, I'm the owner of the property. You'll still have the 6 feet for the water to run off into my property. If needed, can put gutters to redirect it to the side of the property.
Do you have any problems with flooding there now?
No.
When it rains quite a bit?
No.
Does it run towards the front of your property or the back of the property?
Whenever it does rain, all the water will sit in the middle of my yard, of my backyard, which wasn't much at all.
So now we're taking most of the yard out.
Yeah, but I got the concrete leveled out to the sides. So the drainage will go to the side of my own property, so that it doesn't outflow to the back.
And you were gonna say something about the neighbor?
Yeah, he came over last night. I'm sorry. Yeah, he came over last night and he brought that letter with him. He goes, "Hey, what's going on? Are you gonna build a big shop?" I'm like, no. I'm like, "I'm just gonna build a porch." I go, "But they had to reach out to you and to my other neighbors to ask if there was some kind of, problem with it, or if you're okay with it." Well, I'm good with it. I said, "Okay." I said, "If you do have a problem, you can reach out to him, or you can go to the meeting, tomorrow morning." He's like, "Okay."
All right, any other questions for the homeowner?
No.
No? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna close off this section of the meeting. From the public, commissioners?
So it's actually gonna be 6.5 feet from this fence line, right?
Yes.
And then you still have your regular.
Yes, you still have your regular size, 5 feet side yard setback.
I don't see an issue with it.
Is that a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and accept it as it is,
As presented by the city?
as presented by the city.
There's a motion on the table.
I'll
to-
second it.
There's a motion on the table to approve with the restrictions, the recommendations from the city, and there's a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any objections, same sign? Motion carries. All right, we're gonna go to the next case file, number 2025-06-V. Open a public hearing to consider approval of the request by Christopher Tetley, owner of variance from section 14-7-8 from the City of Odessa ordinance to allow a structured carport to be built 0 feet side yard setback instead of the required 15 feet, 5, is it 15 feet or 5?
5 foot.
Five.
Side, huh?
Five.
It's 5. Typo, there's a typo on there. Instead of the required 5 feet side yard setback in a single family 3F3 district lot 56 block 7 North Park Addition 9th filing 610 East 95th Street.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Board. So we have two corrections on the agenda item. For one, it is case file number 2025-04-V, and then as you pointed out, it's 5 instead of 15 feet. However, the applicant is here and is requesting to table this case.
To what?
The applicant is here and is requesting to table the case.
Okay, do we have to make a motion?
And the reason why is because he hasn't had a chance to fix his design, and it automatically gets put on the agenda until they request to get it removed.
Okay, so we have to have a motion. So is there a motion for table?
I'll make a motion table.
There's a motion for, to table. Do you have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Motion has been tabled. So if there's no other cases, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make the motion.
There's a motion to adjourn. Second?
Second.
There's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any objection? Motion carries.